Think Aloud. For those of you who struggled a little bit with Simone Bolivar's letter from Jamaica. In class, what I was trying to get you to figure out is what Simone Bolivar's purpose is, and I'm just going to read the document, talk a little bit about what I'm thinking as I read through the document, and then answer the questions at the bottom. So for me, I'd go look at the questions first, but they're just cap stuff. So we need to know the subject, the context, the speaker, the audience, the purpose. So I know what I'm after, and I know specifically, because I told you this in class, that what we really want to know is like, what's Bolivar's purpose in writing this letter? And we know that just saying he wants to inform people or he wants to make somebody aware doesn't really work, that we want something more specific than that. So then I go read this section. The following is a letter written by Simone Bolivar in 1850. Okay, 1815. So I know a little bit about Simone Bolivar from the take-home reading, and I know that he was forced to leave South America for a little bit, and he moved to Jamaica. And in fact, it says at this time Bolivar had been defeated and exiled from Venezuela and was living in Jamaica. So he's been defeated. Let's see, who is this letter to? This letter is to a British government official, okay, the governor of Jamaica. Britain was Spain's main competitor for power in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, so I know a little bit about the author. Bolivar has just lost a war to the Spanish, and he's been forced to move to Jamaica. And he's writing here to the governor of Jamaica, who's British, and they're an enemy of the Spanish. Okay, let's take a look at it. As I feel obligated to give due consideration to your honored letter and charitable intentions prompting it, I am impelled to write you these words, wherein you will certainly not find the brilliant thoughts you seek, but rather a candid statement of my ideas. Well, to me, it sounds like I feel obligated to give consideration to your honored letter and your charitable intentions. And I'm not brilliant, but I just want to tell you what I think. Wow. Like, that's a weird thing. Like, the whole thing up there where he's like, oh, you're so honored, you're so charitable, kind of sounds like he's kissing the guy's butt to me a little bit. Then he quotes from the letter from this guy. 3 centuries ago, you say, began the atrocities committed by the Spaniards on this great hemisphere of Columbus. Our age has rejected these atrocities as mythical because they appear beyond the human capacity for evil. So, weird. He starts out by saying, you're really, really great. I honor you so much. And then he says, the Spaniards are terrible. They're evil. They are, in fact, he says, beyond the human capacity for evil. Then he says, with what a feeling of gratitude I read that passage in which you say to me, I hope that the success which then followed Spanish arms may now turn in favor of their adversaries, the badly oppressed people of South America. So he's saying, you said that you hoped we, like us, like Bolivar, I'm the person leading this revolution, that we would be successful. I take this hope as a prediction. So he says, this isn't hope, this is what's going to happen. If it is justice that determines man's contests, success will crown our efforts because the destiny of America has been irrevocably decided, that the tie that bound her to Spain has been severed. The hatred that Spain has inspired in us is greater than the ocean between us. It would be easier to have 2 continents meet than to reconcile the spirits of the 2 countries. Well, this last part maybe is a little bit confusing. I think he sort of says, you know, I am really so happy that you said you hoped we would be, like Bolivar and the South Americans, successful in our revolution. And I hope you're predicting that we'll be successful. So he's writing to, again, the British government official, and he's saying, you're really great. He says, the Spanish are really evil. And he says, I'm so happy that you wrote me saying that you hoped we would be successful. Subject, pretty straightforward. I just covered it. You're so great. The Spanish are so bad. I'm so happy that you wrote to say that you hoped we were successful. Context. Bolivar has lost a war to the Spanish and has been exiled to Jamaica, where he's trying to get enough money and soldiers to fight again. Speaker. Bolivar is the leader of revolutionary groups in South America who are trying to get rid of the Spanish audience. The audience is an English person, and the English are the enemies of the Spanish. Well, once I have that information, I think that under the surface it becomes clear. Like, if the English and the Spanish are enemies of one another, and Bolivar is lost to the Spanish, here underneath what he's talking about, it seems to me that probably what he's hoping is that the British will get involved. When he talks about how great the British are and how evil the Spanish are, and then he talks about how even this person who he's writing to had said that he hoped that Bolivar would be successful, all of this is hinting at, without directly asking it, the idea that the British can become involved and the British will fight against the Spanish, or at least that the British will give him money and weapons so that he can fight against the Spanish.